Hi, this is Cynthia Ortiz. It is the 13th of January, 2022. Mr. Perry just did the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Although, that happens almost every day. So, these are the Charles Perry Stalker podcast. Use allegedly, apply the but for, and the reasonable person standard. Mr. Perry, go be a reasonable, prudent person. Reasonable, prudent people who use good judgment, do not peep and hack and start trying to talk to a woman that said, leave me alone every fucking day, all day long for 8 years. I can't stand you. You're a reject. You make me feel raped. I've asked you to leave me alone. I'm having to repeat myself over and oh, do you have Alzheimer's, sir? Listen, typing thank you in my phone is not appropriate response for what was said earlier today or anything I've said today. You type thank you in my phone. You type who told in my phone. Get the fuck out of my phone, sir. Get the hell out of my phone. Thank you is not the appropriate response. Everyone's like, my guys watch you in my phone, Mr. Perry. I'm going to repeat that. My guys watch everything you do in my phone and in my computer. Everything you do. They saw what you did. They're like, wow, what in the fuck? Listen, I don't like you, sir. I don't want you anywhere near me. I don't want you peeping. I don't want you hacking. You don't have my consent. You don't have it. Charles Perry, you do not have my consent. This is Cynthia Ortiz. You don't have my consent to contact me at all. Ever. Or my family. What the fuck is wrong with you? Everybody is sick and tired of you. Everybody is sick and tired of your drama. And you cause one problem after another. You caused some today. It took another hour out of my day. I don't have time for this. Why do you? You know, if all you do all day is watch other people who have a life, what is your purpose on the earth for? What do you need it here for, sir? If all you do is go around causing misery and pain and bothering everybody and causing one problem after another, after another, after another, and you have to be told the same thing over and over and you don't get it. I don't like you. I'm never going to like you. I left. It's 8 years. I left to get away from you and to not be contacted by you. I don't like you. When you contact me, you get told on. Who told is not relevant, is it? Who told, Mr. Perry? It's none of your business. I'm not told that. Wouldn't help you if I was. No one wants to help you right now because we're all sick and tired of you. We're all sick and tired of you. You and your drama. Everybody gets rejected. Everybody else moves on. Why can't you? Why can't you? Please leave me alone, Mr. Perry. This is Cynthia Ortiz. You don't have my permission to hack or peep or contact me at all. Please, sir, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me the fuck alone, Perry. Leave me the hell alone. Understand the words I just said. Thank you is not the right response. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me the fuck alone. Our shrink is like baffled by when you do that. What not the appropriate response for the words just said. Leave me alone. I don't like you. That's not illegal. What's illegal? Stalking, hacking, and peeping. All three of those are illegal. They're crimes. You keep getting caught when you fuck with me, and you always want to know who told. None of your business. None of your business. I fell apart today talking about the effects that you have caused people's lives on the Neelys and the Millers and what you've put them through and what you're doing to them. And the words said about Officer Neely and you and Mr. Powell and your, oh, we think the right guy is in prison. No, you don't. You know that's not true. You know exactly that's not true. I knew Officer Neely was drugged before anyone else said it. Wasn't on the docket yet. Wasn't public yet. Because you're being investigated and the guys investigating you went and checked. I found out because of them. Same with the McNamara email, Mr. Perry. You so disturbed someone with your I'm going to false arrest her and subjugate her that they told on you. They ratted you out. They reported you. Now we have the McNamara email. It is there forever. It is on every fucking docket there is. Anyone in law enforcement can pull that up at any time and read it. Some have, and they're pissed. Really pissed off. No one cares what you think. You're a criminal. You're hurting people. We care about the people you hurt, Mr. Perry. Why don't you? This is how you get information, Mr. Perry. It's very, very easy. You fail to factor in human empathy. Everyone else cares about the people you hurt. And you don't. It's like trying to run a race with no feet and everyone else has feet. You're failing to factor in human emotion, that we all care about those who hurt, and we're pissed at you for hurting them. And all you want to know is who told. That's all you give a shit about, is who told. Who's telling? How'd she find out? That's not relevant. What's relevant is what you did and the people you hurt and what they're going through now because of what you did. And you have no empathy. And so we've exploited that weakness, Mr. Perry. That's how we get people talking. It's not hard. We've exploited that weakness in particular. When we do something, we sit down, Mr. Perry. We sit down and we write down what are our desired outcomes. We want to get information to protect and to convict in a court of law, criminal. So how do we get that? How do we get people talking? What are Mr. Perry's weaknesses? What are Mr. Matthew Powell's weaknesses? What are Josh Burston's weaknesses? What are David Robertson's weaknesses? What are Joe Chadwick's weaknesses? What is Calvin's weaknesses? What are their weaknesses? None of them have empathy. Exploit the fuck out of that. All they care about is who told on us. You're hurting people in a way they'll never get over. Go pray to your dolly. Maybe your dolly will tell you who told. You are all girled up all the time. You know it? It is embarrassing, sir. Very, very embarrassing the way you behave yourselves. You're hurting people in a way they won't ever get over, Mr. Powell. So how dare you tell people, oh, she's just crazy. Now, you made a reporter mad when you said that. I looked at Dr. Russell's work, what she had to say. Nothing like that. She was treated for PTSD for what they put her through. Read what she says. You want me to show you, Mr. Powell? Did you forget? Did you forget, Mr. Powell? You want to listen to this recording, what she said? With Charles, he escalates more than you can ignore. She compared him to one of her disabled patients. He is mentally disabled because when you just get caught over and over and over and over, and you keep doing the same thing that gets you those results, you're disabled. Your mind is gone. You're not right in the head. You keep provoking and provoking and provoking and provoking, and you get told on and caught and told on more than ever in your life, and you just go right back at it like a moth to the flame. It doesn't get any more stupid and disabled than that. When you mess with me, that's what happens. You guys are pissing off reporters. Perry had one too. And the lady, I told you, was banging on her desk. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Never is there anything about, I don't like his stand on abortion or marriage or guns. I don't like that. So, I hope he doesn't get reelected. There's nothing like that. Everything is leave me alone. That guy just lied to me and I'll never take his call again. So now you did that same thing, Mr. Powell. Bad-mouthing me. Guess what else? Someone had information that Dave and Charles were going to kill Lucky and Mike. They didn't tell us. We didn't get that. The same thing with the brick being thrown at me on the freeway. You know why? Because you guys told everybody I'm crazy. And the guy goes, I didn't want them to say that about me. And they kept getting caught. I thought for sure they wouldn't really do it. How do you know that wasn't your employees staying out at Lakeshore right next to me, David? One of them. How do you know they're not one of your leaks? You killed the wrong... You clearly still have leaks. Right? You clearly still have leaks. Somebody told you the other day she moved twice and changed her whole life to get away from you weirdos and your drama. So for you to go in here and call everybody and claim you're victims, I'm sorry, but that's a hard sell. She's right about Lucky and Mike. Mike doesn't have a mark on him. Point it out. It's not even in the arrest report, Powell. It's not like I'm looking at a picture and I don't see what's there. It's neither did Detective Fife. Nothing is there in the arrest report. No injuries. Mr. Powell, you're a fucking prosecutor. Have you not been in this business for long enough to know that if there's a beatdown like this and somebody's dead, internal decapitation, blunt force trauma to the head, strangulation, there's going to be marks on the guy that did that. If there's Lucky Miller deserves the honors of being killed in the line of duty because he was trying to protect me from you. He was trying to protect me from you. You guys, you have hurt them in a way they'll never get over. They won't get over it. My family won't either. And all you care about is who told. And Mr. Perry goes, thank you. Oh, for what? I didn't do anything for you. I'm trying to help lock you up. Because you hurt people, and we want you locked up so you can't do that anymore. That's typically what the justice system is for, not intimidating witnesses and victims. Not stopping a cop from putting you in jail. Do you understand me? You're off your nuts, all of you. Charles, there's no fucking way I would go on a date with you. Let me tell you something. There's a lot of men I slept with on the first night I met them. 8 years you can't get a phone call. Take the blow-off hint already. Mental slow? Come on with that. Stop thinking there's going to be something. There's nothing there. I'm tired of repeating that. I feel nothing for you but disgusted and embarrassed and disturbed and like vomiting. Now don't type in my phone, thank you. Not the right response for what I just said. Any reasonable, prudent person. You heard of that, Mr. Perry? Do you know how to act like one? You're strange. You're a very strange person. I don't want you in my life. I want you to stop contacting me. Don't again type in my phone. Thank you. Oh my Lord. Jesus Christ. What in the world is wrong with you? Not the right response to what I just said. Not even close. Not even, definitely not reasonable, prudent individual. And for sure, not of the intellect I am. You got to be normal to ride this ride. And you're far from normal. Far outside social norm. Mr. Powell, listen, I'm sorry I went off on you this morning, but I'm going to tell you something. A life was lost because of some things that came out of your mouth. You have a responsibility in this deal. I get that. I mean, I've heard nothing but that you're schizophrenic. And the 1 minute you try to distance yourself from Charles and Dave and be the holier thou than one. I'm holier than thou. I don't act that way. I'm the DO, you know. But then turn around and go at me, and go at me. I'm a witness to a crime, sir, and a victim of a crime. And you need to get a grip on reality and look at the facts. I'm sorry you messed up, but you know what? You told half Lubbock that you messed up. I had misgivings about it. I should have got to know her better, so I wouldn't have fallen for that story that Charles told me. When I'm in jail, Mr. Powell, those guys got that Fabian puzzle to me while I'm in jail. I shouldn't have been in jail, Mr. Powell. I was acting in compliance with the laws in the state where I live. You got to file a police report. Did you not look? Where is my blood test? Where is the video from Godiva's? Why did you obstruct justice? You're supposed to be the DA. Don't go around and act like you're better than them. You're not. Accessory after the fact. What the fuck is that? It's just as bad. Depraved indifference to human life, sir, is a murder charge in Oklahoma. I'm not showing depraved indifference. I have police that are protecting me, and it's not Tulsa. They're from somewhere else. That if they weren't there, I'd be dead. I'd have been dead. There's many a time I'd have gone to work and been dead. Because your buddy planned something. And there was a recording of it, and I heard it. Just like I've heard stuff you say. She torpedoed my case. You didn't have a case, there was no crime. So, Dr. Russell, and here she says that I'm intelligent and articulate and just trying to get this fucker off me. I feel raped every day. Can you imagine when I file a police report with Manford and 6 days later I'm getting a text and I'm getting people banging on my door? They got them both. I felt like it was my fault. I shouldn't have called them. Had I not made that phone call, would they still be alive? Would you not have coaxed them to Pensacola and done what you've done? And Mr. Neely is sitting in prison, Mr. Powell, and he didn't kill anybody. He's a victim of attempted murder. And if you can't see that, you're delusional. It's in the arrest report. Now, we don't know what the fuck was wrong with that jury, that they didn't see what I see and what's in the arrest report. And understand, you can't beat somebody to death like that. Blunt force trauma to the head from being knocked back and forth, the doctor said, and have nothing on you. Not a mark on his hands. No murder weapon found. No motive given. And you didn't let me testify. I could have. Everybody says she's an outcome changer. That's why they won't let her in court. That right there. You hear her podcast, then you know why they won't let her in court. Over and over and over. By law, there should have been a hearing and there wasn't. And then if there was a hearing, she wasn't in it. It's her burden of proof. They won't let her in there. Why is that? She didn't have a law degree. They have 5 of them do. 5 seasoned attorneys. Not young guys fresh out of law school. seasoned attorneys won't let her in the courtroom. She's got something on these people. You think? You think? Don't badmouth Mr. Neely again, Mr. Powell. You ought to be doing your darndest to try to get him home. Don't you guys have, there's a new thing that's kind of popping up in prosecutors' offices. And I believe they have one in Pensacola, where they're starting to review wrongful convictions. Conviction Integrity Unit. I'm studying it in school, Mr. Powell. I'm in criminal justice college. And by the way, I was raised by 3 generations of police. And by the way, I can out-sting up anybody you send me. I sting upped Mitchell and Myers, and they had no idea that's what I'm doing. That's the way we all do. All the 40 cops helping me, we're all like that. We can sting up your ass, and you will have no idea that's what we're doing. None. Because we don't like criminals like y'all that hurt people and take a life and think nothing of it, and show depraved indifference to human life. A complete disregard for the truth, a complete disregard for the law and life. Aren't you pro-life? We're all confused as to what you really are about. If you think nothing of watching Mr. Neely lose his future day in and day out, he was trying to help me. He was trying to protect me from you. He was trying to protect me from you. Who told Mr. Perry isn't relevant. Stop asking me. All day long, he's asked me, is it this person? Is it that person? Typed it in my phone. I'm trying to get work done. I got shit to do. I have a petition to type up and I have schoolwork to do, Mr. Perry. Get the fuck out of my computer. You gonna watch me type up my petition and call up to the Oklahoma Supreme Court and tell them how they're supposed to rule like you did Morrissey? Like you did everybody else? Huh? Do you know how some of those judges recorded you? Which ones? Which ones, Mr. Perry? You got a peep and poke problem. That's what I told her. He pokes and pokes and pokes and pokes, and that's what that lady said, a reporter. He just wanted attention. He can't get it any other way. He just bothers and bothers and bothers and annoys and menaces and harasses and bothers and annoys and menaces and harasses and bothers and bothers and bothers, and then escalates. So you have to pay attention. You don't have a choice. That's not a date, Mr. Perry. That's crime. You have pissed everybody off to high heaven today, sir, by your behavior. Typing thank you in my phone is not the right response for what I just said. It's not even close. You need to get your head checked. You're a whack job. We're sick of having to deal with it. I moved twice to get away from you and changed my life completely to avoid having to interact with you. It's been 8 years. 8 years ago, almost a decade, I left. You're a rejected fail every damn day. Just complete rejected fail. None of us are concerned about who told. They don't tell me that, Mr. Perry, and I don't ask them. There's not a day that goes by that there's not one day that has gone by that I've said who told. It's not relevant. You know what's relevant? That you get caught and you can never hurt anybody again. The way that you've hurt me and my family and the Millers and the Neelys. And that's a way we won't ever get over. We will never get over it, sir. You did not have the right to do that. Mr. Powell, you do not have the right to badmouth me and try to intimidate me and try to shut me up. We got to shut her up. Do you? Why? What do you have to hide? What do you have to hide? Mr. Perry, stop contacting me. It pisses me off. When you piss me off, we get more information. If you don't like us getting information, it's hard to tell. You provoke and provoke and provoke and provoke. And who told on you is not relevant. And saying thank you is not the right response to what I just said, is it? Reasonable, prudent person, Mr. Perry, which you're not being. Nor are you, Mr. Powell, if you're coming at me. I said there's 3 responses you could have had to what I had to say. Nothing. Don't dignify it with a response at all. Number 2, back the fucking blue. Yep, he has nothing on him. The arrest report lists nothing. It doesn't look right. So let's find out who did it, because it wasn't us. And we'd like that suspicion off of us. So let's find out who really did it. Because everyone can see it wasn't Mike. No possible way was it him. Because if you beat someone to death, you're going to have injuries on your hands that look like you beat someone to death. He's got nothing on him anywhere. He's going to come to after being knocked out in a fight. And even if he can't remember what happened, Mr. Powell, he's going to ask somebody, a doctor, a detective, maybe both, who did this to me? Where's Lucky? Is he okay? He's going to look like he was in a fight, and he doesn't. Mr. Powell, that's what someone looks like that was in a fight. It wasn't even a fight, though. It was a scuffle. And you can see it on his face. He's got injuries to indicate he was in a fight. He was hit 3-4 times. The security guard came. Everybody went home safe and sound. Nobody died in that fight. His beard didn't even slosh out of his hand. And he's got bruises and cuts all over his face. Nothing. Nothing on this man. The arrest report says, I saw his hand was his right hand was red and swollen. Fuck. Might that be the needle in it? Might that be the needle in it, Mr. Powell? Are you a reasonable, prudent individual or not? Any reasonable, prudent individual. Look at his left hand. Detective Fife said there's nothing on his left hand. He said he had a busted nose and lip from being a second event, being pulled off Lucky and thrown face first into the floor by Hotel John. Second event, not the fight. He said, I don't believe you. I don't remember anything. I was knocked out. He was not only knocked out, Mr. Powell, unconscious. He was in respiratory distress. He was dying, sir. He was about to die. Someone had drugged him. Who are the two people in that room, Mr. Powell? Michael Neely and Lucky Miller. Did you think Lucky drugged him? They didn't find any opioids in his stuff, in Neely's stuff. There was nothing like that in court. Yep, Mr. Neely took an opioid. Here, we found all this in his bag. Nothing like that came out, did it? Who gave him the opioids? Mr. Powell, you're a prosecutor. Or you were. Are you a prosecutor still? I don't know. I don't keep up with Lubbock politics. I know that when I read the Kyle Carruth story, I was outraged at that too. What the fuck is wrong with your town? What is wrong with your town? He should have at least been arrested for failure to render aid and interfering with a custody agreement. And he didn't get arrested for either one. Well, we gotta send it to the state and have them all look into it. Bullshit. You throw his ass in jail. He murdered somebody. That guy wasn't threatening him. He didn't have a gun. He's unarmed. Came to pick up his kid. He threatened a lawsuit. He didn't push. He didn't shove. He didn't start swinging his arms. He didn't try to hit Kyle. What is wrong with you people over there? How embarrassing. Iraq, Tommy Tuberville, left town and did not dignify it with a goodbye, didn't he? Now you know why. Now you know why. I was working with those guys. I sold medical supplies to the athletes. All I heard was how we got to get out of here. This place is messed up. The whole athletic team. They came in with Tuberville. You think they've been around the block a little bit? They traveled different places. They've lived in different places. They hated Lubbock. We got to get out of here. This place is fucked up. And they did. As soon as he got it, and he didn't even. Everybody thought he went to the bathroom. He left town, just like I did. Didn't dignify it with a goodbye. This is like Iraq. The Civil War, slavery ended right then. If you want to live in Iraq, go to Iraq. Leave us alone. This man did not deserve to go to prison, Mr. Powell. Don't you dare again tell somebody. I think the right man was in prison and convicted. You don't think that. I know you don't think that. I know you know better. You don't look like that after you've beat someone to death. Lucky Miller deserves the honors of having been killed in the line of duty, not a drunk brawl, and his kids deserve that legacy, and I expect you to give it to him. You can give it to him because you did it on your own, or once you're arrested, we'll make you do it. But you're going to give it to him. Okay? You don't have a choice. I'm not giving you a choice, sir. You want to shut me up. We all get it. Because I know what you... I know where the... You know, the more I talk, the more skeletons keep coming out of your closet. What's done in secret will be shouted from the rooftops. That's Bible. Don't you believe the Bible? You do reap what you sow. God isn't going to be mocked. Do you read the Bible, Mr. Powell? Aren't you guys church people? Do you believe what it says? Or is it just a nice little thing you read sometimes so you can get everybody to vote for you? What is it? Where is your heart? Where is your heart, sir? My heart is with him, and I hurt every day. There's not one day that has gone by that I don't hurt for him and his wife and his son. And I look at my son, and I look at this young man who had a shitty high school life. Shitty as hell. Didn't have to be that way. It shouldn't have been that way. It was that way because of you, Mr. Powell. You put him through that. Why would you do that? What, do you like hurting people? Do you enjoy hurting people? This man was trying to protect me from you. Look at him. Who told isn't relevant, sir. Is it? Who told is not relevant, is it? What's relevant is his life, his future, what has happened to him. He was found having a problem, even breathing. He was dying. And taken down to the police station and told, you killed your best friend. And he's a detective, and he's like, I don't believe you. Look at my hands. There's nothing on my hands. I'm a detective. I know there would be evidence that I was in a fight, and there's not any. There's no evidence of that at all. So, why didn't you let me testify? Why'd you harass and call and harass and call Gene and Mitchell and Mr. Myers? Mr. Mitchell and Mr. Myers. Why'd you call them Mr. Powell and Mr. Perry and tell them not to let me testify unless you did this murder and you framed Mike? Because you knew I found out long before, that he was drugged. Before it came out on the docket. First responders said we gave him Narcan. And by the way, where's his blood test? Now there's 2 of us that didn't get a blood test before being treated. I didn't get one at all. You made sure of that. You obstructed justice. Had Tulsa police prosecuted you, they'd be in the loop with our guys, but they didn't, so they're not. So they don't get to know who told either. Everybody has choices, and we live with them. And I'll tell you what, you can buy every judge you want. Have you ever read the Bible, Mr. Powell? It says God will not tolerate perverted justice or bribery in the courtrooms. He will not crush the weakest reed or put out a flickering candle. He will bring justice. He didn't need your permission. He's God. He will bring justice to those who've been wronged. He will not falter or lose heart until justice prevails throughout the earth. And it's in the Bible twice, not just once. It's in the Old Testament, and then Jesus quotes it. Read it. Aren't you a Christian? Or are you? Are you just that pretend? Is that your facade? Look, your relationship with God is none of my business. I'm asking those questions for yourself to answer. You don't answer to me, but you do answer to God. You're hurting people. This young man had to grow up in a very shitty way that he never deserved and he never asked for, nor did I. We moved twice, Mr. Powell, to get away from the drama and the problems Mr. Perry causes us 24/7. Loss after loss after loss after loss. We had a home right behind the school. My son was the captain of the tennis team in Sapulpa. We lived right behind the school. He could just walk a couple of feet away to the courts, which he did. He'd get up early on Saturday morning, and he'd walk down and he'd play tennis with his buddies. And they'd practice and practice and practice and practice. And I started getting sick, and Charles starts threatening a false arrest, and I start getting visited by police. Watch what you do. He's just trying to find something. We refused it. We said no. But that doesn't mean he won't find some asshole that'll do it. That was in August. I wrote the U.S. Attorney, Mr. Powell. Mr. Perry, leave me alone. You're not entitled to a date or a phone call with me. Never. You're not entitled to it, sir. You are a monster. You're entitled to jail. And I'm doing my darndest to make sure you get there. Because you're not going to hurt people again. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what my granddad did. I'm going to tell people you've hurt, your victims, you're safe now. He can't do it to you ever again. He can't hurt you ever again. He can't make you feel scared and threatened and anxious ever again. He can't make your 5-minute task take hours ever again. Ever again. You won't be broke again. He won't be around to take your money. We're doing something. When we put down on our goal sheet years ago, the desired outcome is build a criminal case against this bastard. And we've done it like nobody else has done it. Nobody has done what we've done. 98% of the time we get what you're about to do. I'd be dead if we didn't. I would have been dead a long time ago. I don't know. Who's Calvin? Charles, who is Calvin to you? How do I have that name? Who is he to you? What is your affiliation with him? Who is he, Mr. Perry? What do you do with your time all day? You account for your time. In whatever courtroom you guys are going into lying right now, you account for your fucking time. Every minute of every hour of every day. What are you doing? Prove it. Don't just put some schmuck on the stand, because you have a bad habit at witness tampering and coercing. You prove it. You better have video that you're doing anything but what I say you're doing. You have no chance of a date with me. You have been a rejected fail for 8 years. That's almost a decade. Take the blow-off hint already. You're not a victim. That's what the guy told you, Mr. Powell. She moved twice to get away from you. She completely changed her whole life to get away from you. Coming in and acting like you're the victim, that's kind of a hard sell. Don't you think? Any reasonable, prudent person would. Leave me the fuck alone. Damn it. When you bother me, you get caught. When you bother me, you get caught. When you bother me, you get told on. We're sick of you. We're sick of you. I want to know when in your life has that happened before. Leave me the fuck alone. How did I get this, Mr. Powell? Sure as shit, I was right. Right here. I said it in March. They said it in May. But one of my guys went over and asked. Point out for me in that, Mr. Powell, where are the injuries on Mr. Neely that indicate he was in a fight? Get a grip on reality. But while you have a chance to make amends, you don't have a choice. Or don't ask for mercy, because you won't get it. Same for you, Perry. The longer you stay in my life and pester and bother and pester and bother and pester and bother. Thank you is not the right response, sir. It's very inappropriate. Leaving me alone, that's the right response. You're hideous. I don't like you. Reasonable, prudent person would leave me the fuck alone. Especially after as many times as you guys get caught. Nobody deserves to be slandered when they're trying to do the right thing, Mr. Powell. And I promise you guys, I promise you, Mr. Powell, God will make it up to us. If everybody else fails us, God is not going to fail us. And He will make it up to us. Joseph was in jail, but Joseph became second in command of all of Egypt. God help your ass when Mike Neely gets out of jail.
Leave me alone. I don't want proof.
Do you see the irritation, Mr. Perry, of how many times she had to say the same thing? It is highly irritating when somebody is stupid and they don't get it the first time. And they fail to respond appropriately towards said, like you. Leave me the fuck alone. Nobody owes you anything. We all get rejected. We all move on. Why can't you? Why are you a fail? It isn't a crime to reject an unwanted male. Rape. Or attention. If I'm in a bar, believe me, I hung out in a lot of bars, Mr. Perry. I lived in Vegas. I had VIPs to the nightclubs. They parked my car right in front. I was there that much. And when I was in my 20s, before I got married, I was there every weekend, every Friday and every Saturday. I had a VIP pass in Vegas. They parked my car right in front, Mr. Perry. I drove an Infiniti Q45. That is a $40,000 car. I was 24 years old. I was successful. I was successful until you took everything I had. You know what else was said, Mr. Perry? This girl's too smart to be broke like she is. He's taking her money. He's got her living on peanuts. What an asshole. He's definitely getting in her money. She ought to be rich. She's a very smart person. You can tell by listening to her talk. She caught stuff everybody else missed. Perry, shut up. Nobody asked you what you think. Listen, nobody asked Neil what he thinks, did they? Nobody's asking you what you think. I don't want to know. I don't care. I said leave me alone. That's what I care about. That you leave me alone. Cease and desist all contact. Cease and leave me the fuck alone. Look at the irritation for normal people in a civilized society are very irritated at him because she said 6 times, leave me alone. And what did he do? Same thing you do. Start telling her what he thinks. No one asked ya, Connie Curry. You weren't asked. You're butting in. It doesn't concern you. You're butting in. No one asked you. Who told? I'm not told that, and I don't even ask that question, Mr. Perry. It's not relevant. You know what's relevant is? How do we heal the broken that you caused? How do we take heavy off of the people that you put it on? Because my granddad taught us we relieve suffering caused by crime, whether you're in law enforcement or not. That's what we're here for. Power is in service. You know, did you ever watch Oscar Schindler's movie, Schindler's List? And there was one guy that was just whack job, killing people random just to do it. And Schindler had about enough of it. And he went in to talk to the guy and he said, you know, power is in having the gun and not using it. You don't always have to be a dick. You can be a normal person. You can be a caring person. That's where the power is. And guess who ended up on top at the end of that? Oscar Schindler. They made a movie about him, not the guy that did that. He's a hero. He died a hero. He helped people. He made sacrifices. And when it was all over, he wished he had made more. He bought lives. He spent money, all his money, to save people's lives. That's what a hero does, Mr. Powell. Not get on the phone and lie. We think they got the right guy. You had 3 choices. 1, do nothing. 2, agree. The arrest report says there's no injuries. He doesn't look like he could have done this. So let's find out who did, because I don't want the suspicion on me. Or attack the witnesses and the victims and suborn perjury and make sure, once again, Cynthia's not in that courtroom. You know, when I filed the motion to intervene, that's how far I took this, trying to help him, Mr. Powell. I did that all by myself. I did it. I lived with no electricity or food for a week because Charles, your little buddy, starved me to death. I was being punished. It's called witness tampering, Mr. Powell. Title 18 of the United States Code 1512 and 1513 prohibits that. I don't think your attorneys know how to read the law, because they're just letting you guys run rampant like some rabid dogs. 1512 and 1513 prohibit that kind of thing. So what I did is I filed the motion to intervene. I'm going to get his story on the docket one way or the other, by God. He didn't do it. He's a police officer. I come from police. It's called Back in the Blue. People need to know there's no way. How could a jury look at this man and think he did this? Physically impossible. I barely knew Mike. Met him once. Talked to him for 30 minutes when I filed my police report. Doesn't matter. Did you hear again with the Bible, don't you go to church? The Pharisee, 3 people walked by a man wounded on the side of the road, and the Pharisee stopped and helped him and took him to a hotel and took care of him. Made sure he got well. That's what we're supposed to do. Power's in service, Mr. Powell. Not being an ass to everybody and thinking you're too good for the law. You're too good for the law or an accountability. So, what do they teach you at that church that you go to at Southcrest? How to commit crime and get away with it? I mean, what do they teach you there? So that's what I did for Officer Neely and his wife and his son. When I see my son, I see her son. I see their son, except his was worse. My son's mom, I wouldn't accuse him of murder. Although Charles has tried to do that. They want my shoe print. They want to get Mickey James to take me shooting. I've never shot a gun in my life. Never have. Never had any interest in it. Never had any. If I absolutely had to for a job, I would. But to this date, from the day I was born, never have I held a weapon. Never have I shot I've never discharged one, ever. So they brought Mickey James into my work to threaten my life. And then try to get me to go shooting. Did they want me to go shooting because he was going to have an accidental, shoot me? Or to frame me? Or maybe both. Let's see which one works out. Because when we try to kill someone and they don't die, we arrange a false arrest. Where's my blood test, Mr. Powell? Where's the Lady Godiva's video? Where's Mike's blood test pre-Narcan? All these blood tests are missing, Mr. Powell, when you guys are associated with something. A little curious. You think everybody's Stupid like you, and they're not suspecting a thing. They do. If we hear what you guys just said, we got our ear to the ground in a lot of places. A lot of people, a lot of reporters don't like y'all because you lie to them. They don't want to talk to you because you lie to them. Most people are like, don't insult my intelligence like that. Don't insult my intelligence. Don't waste my time lying to me. Don't fucking do that. Right? You ever been in that situation? I'll tell you what you want to hear, so you'll shut up and go away. I'm not letting you waste my time. I have stuff to do that's important, and you're going to stand here and lie to me, and I don't want to hear it. A lot of reporters are sick of y'all doing that. Sick of you doing it. People can look at it and see for themselves. So your third option was harass and tamper with me. I filed the motions to intervene. There should have at least been a hearing to see if I even had standing to do that. Now, guess what? There wasn't. They're just like everything else. Just sits on the docket. Growing mold. Too many of these hearings where there should have been a hearing and there wasn't. And if there was, she wasn't in it. Little fishy. Too many of them. Please, leave us alone, Mr. Perry.
Please leave me alone. Please leave me alone. Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes and I'll leave you alone.
Oh, God. It's too damn early for this shit. Leave me alone.
How do you dress like this? What are you a prostitute? I'm serious.
Sir, please leave.
That's okay. I don't care.
Mr. Perry, the more you contact me, the more pissed off I get because I asked you to stop contacting me. The more you peep and hack and rape and cause one problem after another, you get us all pissed off. And so if you want to know why you're getting told on, that's why. The who doesn't matter. It's not relevant. I'm not even told that. I don't even ask. It's not relevant. Why are you getting told on? Because you're pissing everybody off. Just like Neil here. One time is all it should take. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. Don't contact me. I don't like it. I don't like you. You need to go work. You need to go be normal like everybody else. You need to keep up with everybody else, sir. Go act like a reasonable, prudent person. Go work. And leave me the fuck alone.
Leave me alone. Please.
Just talk to me for 2 minutes.
First, let me say that I'm happy that the lady in this video is okay. Second, let me break down what rape culture is. Rape culture is the fact that that man felt that he was entitled to some of this woman's time just because he said, let me talk to you for 2 minutes. Doesn't matter if it's 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes. If she said no, no means no. Rape culture is the comments that she has on her video about how she should have just spoke to him or dressed differently. Rape culture is me taking the heat for calling out other men for their terrible behavior. Rape culture is trying to explain stuff as, oh, it's just locker room talk. No, it's not locker room talk. You should talk the same way wherever you are. We all know that rape is not about sex, it's about power. So for you to force yourself on somebody, even if you're just talking to them, is disgusting, dude.
Stepdad been raping you since
Leave
you were
me
12 years
alone!
old?
Please!
Just
I'll make this quick. It was 7:30 one morning. I was at Starbucks. I see my stalker outside the Starbucks. He didn't see me. I told the Starbucks employees, can you call this name instead of Low? Just in case my stalker walked in and heard and was like, like I said, it's been 4 years. I got my order and I got out of there. I walked past and I didn't make eye contact just in case he was looking. I glanced behind me and then he started following me. I told him it's too early. I said, let me just walk in peace. Then I started filming him. A lot of people have been saying we should have called the police. That was not the case. Years ago, he was following me home. So I walked to the police station, banged on the door. Nobody answered. So I thought I would just post it.
That's for you, Tulsa police. We banged on the door and nobody fucking answers, so you're not in the loop. You can make all the phone calls you want to make. Nobody's going to tell you anything. You gave my domestic violence report right to the offender. You weren't there for Mike. You didn't go without electricity for a week to help him. I did. So you can make all the calls you want to make to try to find out who's helping me. No one's going to tell you anything. You haven't shown yourself trustworthy. I'm sorry that was your choice. I didn't sue you. You know what I said? I'm not going to sue you. I could. You endangered my life. Depraved indifference to human life. Depraved indifference to human fucking life. And now we got a dead lucky and an almost dead framed Mike because you didn't do an obstruction charge on Mr. Powell. You're not in the loop. That's it. I'm not going to sue. I don't know how to sue. I'm having to learn how to do that. But I can out-cop you in my sleep. I have. I already have. I'm sorry that's the case. Believe me, that's not what I wanted to be saying. Never, ever was that what I wanted to have to say. You chose that for you. I want for everybody to have peace, just like she wanted. I want for everyone to have a life that's free of torment and torture and strife and problems and drama, and you shut up. We need a cover up. We did something wrong, and it's your job to cover it up. No, it's not, Mr. Perry, Mr. Powell, Mr. Robertson. You fucked up. That's your problem. You're a grown-ass man. Act like it. Reasonable, prudent people. Title 18 of the United States Code prohibits 1512 and 1513 prohibits witness tampering, coercion, intimidation tactics, all of that stuff. When you fuck with me, you guys get caught. Because we factored in human emotions and you failed. You don't have it. You don't know what that is. You're void of those. You're callous and you're cold. I said not this time, Charles, years ago, didn't I? You've done this shit all your life, but you're not going to get away with it this time. Because you don't know me and you don't know who I know. You don't know who I know, but they can do this. They can get me that, and they can get me that. This is the McNamara email. He just wants to find a way to arrest me, subjugate, violate me. Violate all my constitutional rights. It's dated October 29, 2015. And while you did carry out the plan, they got me that. Your name's not on it. You're just the butt-in. You're just the wannabe, never the one wanted, and you cause fear and sadness. We all want that stopped. Because we want to look at your victims and say, you're safe now. He can't hurt you anymore. He can't bother and torment and torture you anymore. What is that supposed to do, Mr. Perry? You think that's how you get a date? Tormenting people? You're all alone. And you're told on, and told on, and told on. Look at the results of what you've gotten after all these years. Decade of it. Not a date, told on. Just told on and caught more than ever in your life. Are you able to put two and two together at all? How many times were you told on before you met me? How many after? I want that number. Can you still add and subtract? You have Alzheimer's? Do you forget how? Look, we're all tired of repeating the same things. We're all sick of y'all. Leave me the fuck alone. Leave me alone. No one's going to help you. When you ask who told, no one's going to help you. Because what we want is you to shut up and go away. So shut up and go away. We want peace. Everybody wants peace. You're disrupting peace. Peacemakers, Mr. Perry, will inherit the kingdom of heaven. You like Satan, though, don't you? Why don't you just tell everybody what you really do when nobody's looking? Because what you do in secret will be shouted from the rooftops. You will reap what you sow. You already are. When we find out what you just said, and you have to ask who told, that's you're reaping what you're sowing for invading my privacy like you do. I don't like you to peep and hack and contact me. You're doing it against my will. I don't like it, Mr. Perry. That's why you get told on. You're not putting that together in your head, are you? You're a mental slow, aren't you? You can't put that together in your head, are you? Prudent individual, Mr. Perry, wouldn't do what you do. You're a low-class nothing, and you're not on the puzzle. They know what I want. They heard what I said the first time I said it. I don't want Perry. He's a butt-in nothing. He's pathetic. He causes problems. He causes fear and sadness, and he gets off on that. He likes that. He's a sicko. Sex weirdo, sicko. I would like Fabian. So guess what? They got me in jail. Fabian's name is on that puzzle, not some random guys. I didn't get this at some random time. I got that at the worst moment you caused. Intentionally. To punish. Because I reported your crime, and you didn't like that. You did it to intimidate. You did it to obstruct. Where's my blood test, Perry? Where is it? To rule out or confirm arsenic poisoning or some kind of poisoning or whatever it was you were giving me to make me sick. Where's the video from the night I put in the report of 121:16? Where is it? Where is it? Where's the evidence of a political vendetta? You don't even matter. You're so not relevant. You're some little small town podunk nothing. I was in politics all my life. I did federal, not state. I didn't do anything in Texas. I didn't do a fucking thing in Texas. I did one fundraiser for the Texas Chiropractic Association for you and John, and nothing else with them. So I didn't even work on legislation with them, for them. Right? I did your fundraiser, and that was it. That was it. And it was so little, I did so little for them, I forgot all about it. I even forgot all about that. That was, if there was a state thing in Texas, that was it. And it wasn't really a legislation, it was a fundraiser for John Frullo and Charles Perry. Both of them. We raised money for the association. For you. You got the money. It wasn't anti-Charles, it was for Charles. So where's the political vendetta? Where is it? Produce the evidence. Did you imagine it? Or did you just lie? Leave me the fuck alone. No one has caught your crime as much as we have. When you bother me, you get caught. How many times did you get caught before you met me? How many after? I want that number. Look at your results. Now, don't ask me again who told. Nobody's going to help you with that. And I've said that over and over and over. It's like you have Alzheimer's. We're so tired of the repeat, Mr. Perry. Write it down, put it on a sticky, and put it on your computer where you sit and watch women in the privacy of their home. That way you won't forget. I'm not told that, and I wouldn't help you if I was. Nobody's helping you, because we want you stopped. Leave me the fuck alone.